So right now money ain't no problem, no kidding. Say you my friend, but you ain't loyal, I just found out who did it. You been acting different, you can't switch it, then come back to us winning. Just pray my dogs to play their part and stay 10 toes when we spinning. We ever falling out won't be because of no bitches. Just pray the Lord, watch over my crew, supply that food on these missions. I just feed some shit like in the industry, they killing off different. I ain't feeling how y'all feel, that's why I get cold on these missions. Some niggas think that I won't push, think I won't push till you feel it. If you drink, I like Patron, ain't know it's strong when I sip it. But a step away from that move, you peep it off of my pivots. For that bag, I make you lose. Them boys get scared whenever I choose. They ain't believing niggas, stacking all this bread and all them blues. Turns up the fact now I can pay all of my bills whenever they do. They ain't believing niggas, that's why they get scared when I come through.
Hey DSD, your hair is crazy.
What's going on? What's going on? This your boy Stevie D, GSG, YouTube GSG Reviews. We on another episode of Gems Talk. You feel me? I got a young lady about to join in a few minutes. So if y'all wanna see the conversation, if y'all don't catch it live, or if y'all y'all could go on my YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can catch it now live, or y'all can wait till later and catch it on YouTube. Any meeting or conversation I have on live is going to go on my YouTube at GSG Reviews on YouTube. Look out for a big sale on my jewelry coming soon, probably dropping sometime this weekend. I just got some problems with my, Klarna and those third-party pay apps that for some reason the coding is not working. So that right now you can't have access to Klarna on my site for now. But yeah, so let's get on with the show. Hopefully y'all like the conversation. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if it goes through. Yo.
Really dark. Hey.
Do you have lighting where you at?
Ooh. Is that good?
Oh, it's
Can you see?
better. It's better.
That's as bright as it's gonna get.
Nah,
That's all I got.
Nah, it's good. It's good. It's good. So tell the people who you are. If you got anything to promote, you can do so right now.
Oh, okay. My name is Jennifer, and to promote, well, right now I'm sitting in my 2022 Jeep Wrangler. So if anyone wants to buy a car, please check out Stream Auto Outlet in Long Island. You can check out the Instagram, and if you're looking for anything in particular, you can either DM me or I can direct you on to the assistant manager who will definitely hook you up.
Somebody asked you what color.
Oh, it's black. Black on black.
All right, so tonight I'm just, regular conversation. I wanted to ask, is gonna, I like to have conversations based off relationship, difference between men and women and their views. And at the end, when we get to what I call the green light, red light, green light questions, is pretty much when I ask a red light, green light question, they're challenging questions, and the audience or them on YouTube or whoever joins the live could give green light if they agree with your answers or red light if they disagree. But it's really red hearts and green hearts, because even if they disagree, we still spreading love. So my first question to you is, when the Bible says the man is the head of every woman, how does that strike you? And I want wait before we continue. Sorry for the mark on my nose. When I'm outside and when I'm at work, I gotta wear a mask, and that's where that's from. So nobody put their hands on me, and I'm not breaking out. So it's just from the mask. Sorry for that, but it is what it is.
You must be wearing your mask for a very long time.
All day. All day.
Dang.
So yeah, so when in the Bible, everybody knows I'm Christian. If everybody don't know, then you know now. But in the Bible, when it says the head of every man is woman, and the head of every woman is man, the head of every man is God, how does that strike you? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your views?
So I agree in the sense that I'm not one to. I feel like God knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like if he this is his law, And it may not be something that like all women agree with, but if it's something that he said, then it's his law. You know what? At the end of the day, like, I'm also a believer. I don't really follow anything specifically, but I do believe that there is an almighty creator, and that when he says something, I don't question at least that part. Now when it comes to like specific like toxic relationships, then that's different. I mean, obviously there's some gray matters in that, and that's really for the woman to decide if that's what she wants her family household to be, under that kind of guidance. That is because I truly believe that men know how to guide, and that's why he made it, for them to be, the head, because they guide us and whatnot. So that's my input. That I agree with that.
Okay. I mean, like you said, there are like a lot of different relationships and a lot of toxic relationships and a lot of turmoil within relationship. But I tend to, this is just coming from me, when people go through bad relationships, I look at the man and the woman. But being that I'm a man, I hear more so from women when they complain about men. Is that, oh, well, he was this and he was that and he lied and he cheated, he still. But that I always feel like when it comes to men and women, that if the relationship is bad, then there's self accountability for who you chose. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you can't say all women are bad, all men are bad, but a lot of times we choose people, and then when it gets toxic or at a different level where it's not healthy, or you no longer want to be a part of it, or it drains you of your energy, a lot of people don't take accountability for who they chose to have a kid with, to marry, to be in a long-term relationship, and you tend to stay in that. So when it comes to women complaining about men and vice versa, men complaining about women, a lot of times, a lot of things circle back to you. Why did you stay with that person? Why did you choose to have sex with that person? Why did you choose to have a child with that person? So I feel like there are good people out here. There are, certain kind of people out here. And if people would be more patient and put more, put more investment in themselves, right? Giving yourself self-validation, understanding who you are as a person, and understanding your insecurities and what you need work on. You can't always blame the other person. The other person might be a jerk, might be a cheater, might be a liar, might be a thief, whatever. But you see these red flags, and why, for yourself, why aren't you accountable to changing the narrative or getting out of that situation altogether? So that's just my thing.
Yeah, once they're already in it, like, yeah, I see what you mean. But like sometimes, like when people are in love, they just don't even see the signs. They just don't even see the
But do they
signs.
be in love or they be in lust? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
that's
Because
true.
a man could, when you meet a man, and I'm only speaking because I'm a man and you're a woman, so you date men, right? Or a woman, vice versa. When you meet somebody, everybody knows in a relationship in the beginning that, that's their representative. No, I mean, I don't want to say no one, but it's very rare you're going to find somebody that's going to be flat, all truthful and give you their raw self on the first date. Usually it's all pulling out chairs. Oh, don't worry, I'll pay for that. Hey, don't stress. It's always the best representation of yourself. So
Right,
yeah,
both,
you
yeah.
might see it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, but after like the fifth date or the fifth time y'all decide to get romantically involved, along those lines, you start to see, you know what I'm saying? You start to see
Right.
what goes on with the person after a while. Or if you go to where they
Yeah,
live.
but you know what? A lot of young people, I'm going to say young people because a lot of older people already have the experience to know that you can't change a person. And a lot of young people think that they can change someone. So I think that's also a reason why they stay inside. So I understand what you mean about accountability, but it's hard. Relationships are hard. Like there's no rule book. Like some people go in like, they dive without even like a bodysuit. They just go into their relationship, into love, and just not even thinking about the consequences or like the red flags. Like
Yeah.
I think a lot of young people do that. And so it's hard when you're a young person and you get into a relationship, and then many years down the line, 10 to 15 years, or even just like 3 years of being with the same person, and they change. Like there's things that you can't help it if they change, right? Like,
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
so
that's true. But I agree with you for the most part, but some people, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that when you say red flags, a lot of people see them more early than they don't. Or like, let's say I'm a controlling kind of person and I make certain jokes and I'm just presenting them to you as jokes, but that's how I really feel on the inside. A lot of people tend to just ignore the red flags. But when you're young, like,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Like,
That's true. Yeah.
when you're young, though, I could see why, like, an 18-year-old or 15-year-old, you know, when we in junior high school and high school, we tend to think we're in love because, oh, this person makes me feel great. I laugh at young people who, I don't laugh at them in a disrespectful way, but I laugh when oh, I'm in love with this person. I'm going to be with them forever. It doesn't mean that they can't be with them forever, but I always attribute things back to life experience. When you don't have that much life experience, it's not to say you can't be with this person forever, but if you met them when they were a certain age, if they don't have life experience, you don't have life experience, it's hard to say what's what at a certain age because you're still new to the world. Like you might have lost your virginity, might been in the church already, might have dated a bunch of people, but when you don't have that real experience of how to be away from somebody for X amount of time because they work a lot, or how to deal with a person when you're living with them, you know, that's real life experience
Yeah, that's true.
stuff like that. But so you have no objections to man being the head in the relationship, though. That's what you say. You for the most part, you agree.
I mean, like it goes back to what you're saying about accountability. Like, this is the law, right? And if a woman chooses a man that is acceptable to her and he's doing everything right and playing his part and she's choosing to stay, then great. Unless, the case is different. I mean, not the case is different. The case is the same. If he is not like doing his part, and he's not playing the role, like if she's choosing to stay with him, then that's when the accountability comes in. Like,
Yeah,
you know that he's supposed to be the one guiding you, or should be the one that's guiding you and helping you, like, maneuver in life and whatnot, how God wants us to be. And yeah, I mean, and that's your choice. So the consequences are on her.
yeah. I mean,
So
that it's a great conversation just because you have like a lot of modern women, and don't take what I say wrong to say women can't work, women can't have businesses or nothing like that. But I'm just noticing like the more women boss up, and then the more men tend to fold, right? Like
yeah.
it's nothing wrong with being with a woman with money, but I've always felt like when men fold, like I don't have a problem with my female making more money than me, as long as I'm still bringing something to the table. But if a woman is working hard, this is my opinion, or I would like to say a fact because I've seen it in real life with multiple situations, that when a woman is working harder than the man to pay and provide, they start to lose respect for that man. And this is why God
Yeah.
put men as the head, not to say that a man is to control or lord over their wife, because if you read further down, it also says if the man is not doing the right thing by his woman or his wife, that he's going to suffer the consequences, because she's not to be his slave, but she is to be a helpmate, a servant to a point, you know what I'm saying, to
Yeah.
support. And men also hold the responsibility that if he's not pouring back into her cup to make sure she has everything she needs to be able to maneuver, whether she has a job or a business or whatever the house may need for her to operate, then he's going to suffer the consequences too. But a lot of times nowadays, you got these boss bees, boss babes, you know, and then you got these men who don't really want to do much. You know what I'm saying? So it's on both ends. Like, you know, these guys, like most, I don't want to say most men because that'll be wrong, but there's a big percentage of men nowadays just not really wanting to progress, and they expect to have a loyal, you know, woman by their side. And then these women who are making more money, they tend to settle for these men. And I feel like women who make a lot of money, if they settle for somebody way below a certain standard, then they just want a man that they can control. But like I said, if I'm making money and my wife,
I mean, well, I don't know about they just want a man to control. I feel like a lot of women look at men like, as potential. Like we see potential in men. Like we think maybe sometimes women are like, no, I can help him elevate. I could bring him up. I could help him look for another job. Like I think women, if they're going for somebody that's they see potential in, then it's not really because they want to, like, they feel like a boss bitch. They want to, take over. No. What's your input on these boss women?
I don't have a problem with them, but I wouldn't date one if my stuff isn't up to par. If my personal finances and things ain't up to par, I couldn't be one of them. Just not trying to make them look bad, but just to say that I already know what that position. Because when I'm up on my stuff, and I've dated women who had significantly more than me, there was a lack of respect there. I mean, they ain't disrespect me like
Oh,
what you
that's what you get. It's the respect that they tend
to
yeah,
lack.
I agree. I agree. Like I was watching a Yana video that she had posted a while ago, and it was about a woman who was basically talking to her husband in not disrespectfully, but basically in a tone that
A demeaning
wasn't
kind of.
right. Yeah, a little demeaning, and it wasn't he wasn't getting the message. And so Ayana was like, let's switch this. And she sat in her place, said the same thing, but like in a gentle kind of way, the same message. And he was like, I understand. Like, and she was like, you see, women have to remember that when you're like doing it equally as men, like, you're
We're not
getting your
receptive.
point across, y'all don't get the message at all. And it won't even be disrespectful. We could be like common sense, like this is common sense. But certain things that we say, it just comes off as like, no, you don't know better than me. Like guys have a certain kind of pride. And so, if they're hearing something in a certain kind of way from their woman, they most likely be like, nah, she don't know anybody. But if women come from a gentle approach and in a nurturing way, and letting him know, that she has his back, she's his support, whatever, then he sees the message in a
Yeah.
different kind of way. The way she did it was amazing. Like,
I mean, the thing is too, the whole thing is too, like, as much as I would like to get on these modern women, right? I would love to do it, but it's hard because then you got these men these days that succumb to not being real men. And I'm talking
yeah,
like it's easier for, huh?
lazy.
It's
They're
just
lazy.
easier for me. Like now, like I remember being 18, 19. Like you're not really a man at that age, but what I'm saying is where you strived for wanting to be better. Like it's in general. How about this? I'll give you a funny story. I have a friend. I would consider her my best friend, I guess. But I'm too old to have a best friend. But you know what I'm saying? She's a close friend, and I'm good with her and her husband. They have 2 children, and their son is about a year, maybe a year and change, or just a year younger than my daughter, right? So he's younger than her, but he's a boy.
Oh.
Whenever, this is just what I'm getting from the parents, that whenever I'm not around, he acts like a baby. He's a baby, like he wants to be catered to. But whenever Mia comes around, because Mia's older than him by like a year and change or something to that effect, he starts wanting to be a little more manly because there's like a girl around, and I wanted to kick him because I'm like,
You
yo, that's
see
not
how
bad, that's not kind
nature,
of impressive, but like it's
that's like nature, like it's in us, like embedded in like the DNA for a man to try to be a man, like, you know what I mean? Like,
and they're
even
like
if he's
four
a
and five
boy.
years old. They're 4 and 5 years old, and I'm gonna tell you what happened. So his father was trying to help him because they have like a water machine or something in the house. The father was trying to help him. Oh, I got that, papi. And he looked at his father like, give me the cup. Like he wanted to do it because he wanted to pour a cup for Mia. He's like, yo, why is he acting
Oh,
like this? I said, you don't see why he's like, Mia's standing right there. He wants to like do it on his own. He don't want you to treat him like a baby. Mia's around. And it was the funniest thing. So I look at stuff like that, and they're only 4 and 5 years old. And just as much as we like to talk about women being disrespectful, I feel like for men, if we put ourselves in a certain level, and I know for most women it's monetary, where they look at how much you make and what do you have. But I feel like for men, regardless of what you have, you could always strive to be better, right? I don't want to shoot down nobody because I've been in, I don't say every bracket because I've never been a millionaire yet, but I've been in high brackets and low brackets. And no matter what space I've been in life, I've always strived for better. So I always try to tell like men younger than me or even older than me, wherever you are, you could always progress, but try to progress. You can't
right,
want to be, and I don't even like using the term live with your parents because some people fall on hard times and they use their parents' house to rebuild. But I'm just
right.
saying, like, but we also know, like, if you're of a certain age, still in with your parents, if you're not in college or saving money to progress, and you're just sitting there playing video
What do you,
games at 30. And
again, lazy, like I said.
I'm just starting to see a lot of younger men and older men be more lazy nowadays.
It's
So how
the
could,
generation. That's what it is. It's the new generation. We spoil them. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, they act like they don't got to work.
I don't get it, but my thing to these young men, when they demand respect from their girlfriends or whoever they got, it's just like, bro, are you on your stuff? Because even if, let's say, I'm not making that much money, but you see I'm a man, like you said, I got potential and I'm paying on stuff and I'm handling mines, right?
Right,
I feel like a woman could still respect a man if he's not making something, but she sees him working. Like he's working towards his goal. He's busting his butt. He's not asking her for much. You know what I'm saying? And he's trying to cater to her as much as possible. I tell men to work on their manhood, work on, you can't demand respect from a woman if you ain't got nothing worth respecting.
That's true.
You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
so then where does that scripture fall in then? Because you said that the man is supposed to lead, right? According to the scriptures. And how would that fall into, how would that
Well,
scripture work?
because just if we're gonna talk about biology, this is just my interpretation is that and generally speaking, men are stronger, men are built to be more tougher. You know what I'm saying? We were the hunters and
Yeah.
the gatherers, and the women were. I'm not saying women have to be home, but that's what it was made for. There are some women that are stronger than some men. We know this. There are some exceptions to the rules where women have excelled more. Women have excelled than a lot of men. Look at Beyonce. She's richer than mostly every man, probably not known, but you know what I'm saying. Like there are some exceptions to the rule, but I think in basic form if we take it back to the caveman days or biblical days, the men did a lot of the hard work. You know what I'm saying? We went to hunt or we went to build, we went to start the fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm getting it from. And today, even just dating, people want to go date. Young boys want to go date just so they can have sex or have a pretty girl on their arm. But if you think about it, if you take it back, you couldn't even take a girl on a date or call her your girlfriend or your wife without the parents' approval because the parents want to make sure whoever my daughter's involved with, he has to be a protector, a provider. You know what I'm saying? Which I wish it
Yeah.
was still like that today. I'm gonna try to have it like that with my daughter. I'm not saying it's gonna happen because nowadays people got minds of their own. But yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna want to meet the boys that surround my daughter because if you can't protect her, if he doesn't have any type of anything to him besides he just wants to hump on something, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying? She gonna get pregnant. He's gonna run off or just not even provide because he
Yeah.
doesn't know what to do with himself. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm not saying every man is a leader. Every man's supposed to be a leader. That's why I say I hold accountability to the men just as much as I hold it to the women to say that before you think you deserve a woman or deserves a woman's respect, you got to have your stuff in order. So if all you dealing with is thoughts, hoes, and girls who like to snap their fingers and walk around half naked all day, that's what you're going to get because if they ain't got respect for themselves, they definitely ain't going to respect you. And if you ain't got nothing worth respecting, what are you expecting anything for?
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
I see what you mean with the accountability. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
I mean,
sense.
can I be raw? How about this? I said this before on one of my Instagrams, so that way if anybody thinks I'm lying, it's on one of my Man Cold Mondays. I'll give you an example. Right now, I use myself so everybody can see where my logic comes from. I have a baby mother, correct. A lot of people know this. My daughter is 5 years old. That situation did not work out. And I'm not gonna lie, in the very beginning, when things were getting crazy, I was mad. I was kicking my feet like a big grown baby. But guess what?
Hmm.
If I'm not saying I was wrong. How she's treated me, I'm not saying I deserve it all, but I do have to take accountability that I've known this girl for several years. And if I was never going to make her my wife, I should have never touched her. Now, there's a lot
Yeah.
of in between details I could use as excuses to say why my daughter came about and this and this and that, but it doesn't matter. If you know, for me, not making her my wife and taking care of the situation in a more mature way, or a better way rather, then I wouldn't have all the problems that I have. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking all the blame. I'm just saying for my part as a man, I shouldn't have touched that girl if I wasn't going to be with that girl in a more responsible way. So I'm holding
And
myself even accountable for my actions, my decisions. I don't take the
yeah.
blame for it all, but I take the blame for what I need to take the blame for. So you never really hear me talk bad about my baby mother, especially not in a public forum, because it's both of our faults. We should have both been responsible. But me as a man, I should have led in a way where if this situation still happened to where we couldn't be together, maybe I could have did some difference and maybe the respect and certain things would maybe just be there anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
That's good that you're taking accountability, but like if you think about it, there's no kind of like information. Well, there's no like classes or like like lesson places or wherever to kind of like get the information that like be other than like religious services and church and whatnot,
Yeah.
like unless someone actually reads the Bible or is familiar with like what the scriptures say, then they might not follow that way and understand that like you should wait before you make a commitment to be with someone. Like nowadays they just think, well, I want to they look at the benefits. They don't look at the long run. Like the Bible helps you see, in the long run, you're choosing a lifelong partner in the end.
That's a
So
fact.
be wise about it. Like there's a lot of lessons in there that are not taught anywhere other than from maybe your parents if you have
Yeah.
like a good, family foundation. But yeah, that like that's good that you're taking accountability. But if like really it's not really like discussed out there much about like choose your partner wisely, because the consequences are like people say it, that the red flags, like they say be careful and whatnot, but
And I
there's
have
not.
plenty of them. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I'm putting myself out there to say I can speak from a certain perspective because I had a bunch of them. But I don't want to put. The thing is, I don't want to put her out there in a certain light to say certain things because just as much as I could say whatever about her, I would have to state the same claim, if that makes sense, right? We were acting
Yeah.
in a certain scenario that is not ideal. Both of us was, and this is what came out of it. So I'm not here to point any fingers. I only put that out there to say that even me, that I'm saying I hold men accountable for certain things, I hold myself accountable. You know what I'm saying? I hold myself accountable. So now
Right.
going forward, I try to make sure that whoever I deal with is of a certain structure, of a certain ilk, of a certain respect level that it's a,
But that only came through experience, right? Because you were young when you were with this, the girl, and
well, we dealt with each
you
other
weren't young.
for a long time. That's what I'm saying. That's why I have to take accountability because, yeah, you could say I was young. I was young when we first started. I wasn't young when Mia was born. I was still young, but I wasn't of a young mind. I was just doing
Ah,
young, dumb things. I should have known better. I should have known better.
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I mean,
It's hard. There's environment. There's like the way you were raised. Not you personally, but
yeah,
there's a way people like. There's a lot that takes effect on like decisions
yeah.
in young people,
Yeah,
and
but as men, we can't always make an excuse. I'm not making the woman not accountable for her part. I'm just not gonna say anything because I'm not here to tarnish her. I'm just talking about me as far as accountability. So I'm not here to do that with her. But I'm not. But there are some kind of women out here, and we know who these women are, and we see them, and we come across them, and we even deal with them. And then you can't deal with a certain person and think that the outcome is going to be the best. That's where, like I said, red flags come in. You have to address them or shut them down or don't deal with them at all. Whether you're bored, depressed, it don't matter. You see the red flags. If it's something that triggers in your head, because I've been learning my own triggers. When people say things, something just my nerve starts happening. It's like, wait, why do I get this anxiety feeling, or why I get this feeling when this person acts this way? It's because I've dealt with it before. I'm not dealing with it again. You know what I'm saying?
that's good. That's your body letting you know, don't do it.
Don't do it because it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you. But no,
That's all through, like I said, experience and being mature. And I don't think you had that tingly, spidey senses when you were, young.
I mean,
So
I've
with
always had a
experience,
certain attitude, though. I realize that. Some may say that, I don't see how a lot of girls even dealt with me in the past. Even in my younger age, I was kind of like demanded respect. You know what I'm saying? I demanded a certain type of thing because I'm not saying you gotta praise me like I'm God. No, never that. But I wouldn't disrespect a woman in public, so I don't expect a woman to do that to me. So any woman that even tried it or pulled it off, it was done with. Like I didn't deal with it because I don't
yeah,
disrespect you in public. I don't call you out your name in front of your family or anything like that. So I don't expect that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're from the Bronx. I don't care if you wear Timbs. I don't care if you got 1,000 tattoos. When you bring a certain attention around people, I know I'm worth being respected, so don't do it. You know what I'm saying? I've always had that, but it doesn't speak for all my decision making. Is all I'm saying.
yeah. I mean, that's something that's like along goes with the women that you choose,
Yeah, that's a
because
fact.
like men won't even make huge scene in public. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're not gonna be all, all wait, whatever you just said. They're gonna know like how to properly approach you or at the right time, because in public maybe not might not be the best time to discuss something that's on your mind, but or she'll approach it differently, because you saying that what you just said about like you make sure that she gonna respect you in public, that should be the least of your worries. Like, right?
Yeah, I mean, because I've never been the one to
Respect you.
disrespect a woman. Like whoever I'm dealing with, I didn't look at her a certain kind of way. I didn't, when other girls came around, I didn't give her any less of attention. I didn't stare. I don't stare at other girls while my girl's right next to me. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that
Wow, my friend next to me.
I mean, I don't stare at all, but if we all look, we all see what's around us. It's just like I give a certain type of quality of attention to whoever it could even be my freaking mom, my sister. Like, I just have this thing with females. Like, I try to engage if they're worth engaging. Because some, nowadays, these girls be on Instagram, Snapchat. I would never, I've never been on a date. Well, maybe one. And as you can see, you don't see where she's at now, right? But it was one date. This girl was like 21 years old. And boy, her whole life was like social media. And I understood it, but I didn't understand it. It's because you're saying, I came out because of you. You wanted to spend time. Now I'm giving you the time. I'm trying to conversate. And your whole thing is, oh, but my cousin this and my best friend that. And she better. I couldn't deal with that. I got out of there because that's, to me, is like, you're not engaging with me. You're doing what you could do at any given point of time of your day with anybody
Right.
at that point. And
Right. You see, like you saw that's a red flag, like you mentioned. That's something that's not your lifestyle. It's time to go. Because maybe other men that won't bother them. They'd be like, oh, good, go be on your social media. I don't know, but
I
at
mean,
least
maybe,
dodged the bullet for you, at least.
I couldn't deal with it. Like, if most of your thing is about everybody else's life and you can't engage with me in a real conversation, at least something decent that could keep me intrigued, or I can show you my brain, then talking about Snapchat, Instagram, and who shot John and who forgot to run through the whole conversation is like annoying to me. I like to feel like we're getting somewhere with each other. You know what I'm saying? But, that's besides the point. But yeah, I just feel like men need to step their game up. And no matter where you at in life, just try to progress. Find a way to progression. There's many ways. Freaking, people don't like to talk about working at McDonald's or working at Uber or whatever. But if that's where you're at in life, even use that to your advantage. Don't just stay in the same position. Try to be the manager. Try to be the owner. Like, level up in every which way possible. Not everybody's promised to be a millionaire, but you don't got to be a millionaire to live good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been several years in a row. I made almost about 100,000, maybe a little less, and I was living pretty good, pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta have it all, but always strive. Don't just stay in the same place for like 10 years in a row, unless that's just what life offered you, I guess. But because I don't want
Life
to diss anybody in any circumstance.
that is that person.
Huh?
I said life don't offer anybody the same 10 years, like the same status for 10 years straight. Like, it's that person. If they're choosing to stay in the same place for 10 years plus, then that's that individual. It's not life. It's because everyone can make a change. Like, we're all it's possible for everyone to make a
Yeah,
change
that's
in
what
their
I'm
life.
saying. Yeah, it's possible,
So
but you can't be in a certain level in life and expect the world to come to you. Like, oh, the best
oh
woman
yeah,
and just gonna come across me sitting in this one spot and I'm not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Then he does not need to be having anybody, because if he's not doing something with himself, then what you here for? You taking up airspace,
yeah,
like
you see what I'm
because
saying? Nah, I even have women I used to try to holler at when I was younger, right? When I was working at CVS and I'm behind the counter, giving them their refunds or giving them little coupons, giving them compliments. And it was like, oh, you know what? Like, I like you. But I knew what it was. Like, they're a little older or they on these stuff. They making money. It's like, I like you, but you're not there yet. They didn't say it like that. They said it in so many words. But I understood it. It's like, oh, I get it. Who wants, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't there yet. But then all that did was
wait,
push me to
there.
want to
Oh,
be
because
there. You know what I'm
wait,
saying? I was
because you
always
was
told, huh?
because you was working at CVS.
Well, at that end, I was younger, so they probably looked at me like a little boy at the time. And then,
Yeah,
I'm super energetic, and I'm talking that talk. They like it, they're intrigued, but it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. I've gotten away with a lot, but it taught me lessons. Like, you want to deal with a certain caliber of woman or a certain kind of woman, you got to have something to offer. Women
yeah.
aren't gonna just, well,
But
not
I
all
think
women.
every man's supposed to be offering something. Like,
Yeah, that's a fact.
that's why they here. And if they're not offering nothing, then you just bought yourself another child to take care of.
That's a fact. I mean, let's be real. All right. And this is not me defending sugar babies or gold diggers, nor am I trying to offend them. Like, I'm not defending them or trying to offend them. But it's in women's natural DNA to want certain things from a man. Think about it.
Yeah,
The average woman, when she goes outside, or the girl, she's not gonna go outside and want to find the ugliest, bummiest, the fattest guy. Like, you're not going out. See, you come outside with a standard. You got to be a
Right.
certain height. You got to be of a certain ilk. Maybe he might need to have a car, a house. Everybody has their standard, right? So it's not wrong for a woman to expect certain things from men. It's built in your DNA, just like it's not wrong of us to want a certain kind of woman. You know what I'm saying? So in order to get these things that we're looking for, we gotta have that energy to show. Like, but I would never say, hey, I make 100,000 a year, be my girl. I'm never putting my money first, but I let my actions and what I can provide speak for themselves. Because I believe you put your money first, and that's what the girl's gonna want. That's what she's gonna constantly accept. And so you can't provide it no more, and she finds somebody better.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like in that sense, like if you put your money first, like that'll show if she's a gold digger. Wouldn't you want to do that first so you can like kick her out of the way? Because that would be her true intentions. You know what I mean? Like if that wasn't what she was after, then you having all that money wouldn't be a reason for her, like, you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't mean anything to her. She wouldn't like act like your money is, be the gold digging person that you said that, she could potentially be. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, but
So
that's what I'm saying. I'm not outside of gold digging. Like, I don't want this to make someone saying all women are gold diggers. What I'm saying, it's not wrong for women to want a certain kind of man, whether it's money and stability. That's not wrong. But the gold digging thing is wrong because of they do it just for the money. Like, I don't care if he died of a heart
yeah,
attack tomorrow, I get all his money. Like, that's gold digging. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, or if,
yeah.
like, these pranks you see on YouTube, they think the guy is a bum, but then they see him walk up to a nice car, and it's like, oh, but wait, yeah, you got my attention now. Like, come on. But what I'm saying is, it's in a woman's DNA to want a certain kind of man, a certain kind of individual. It's in there. It's intriguing. If I was tall, handsome, maybe jewelry, maybe no jewelry, but depending on how I dressed and smelled, it might attract somebody versus me coming out with a freaking hoodie on, just standing on the block, walking around. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Certain
I
presentations, it's not wrong, but what I'm saying is, I I think for men, but women know. Like, think about it. If you're working at a certain job and and the first thing you want to do is talk about flex your money. Some girls aren't stupid. They can smell on it. He ain't got all what he's making it seem like he got. But you know what? Since he wants to flaunt it, I'm gonna take whatever he do got and make it work for me. I've literally heard females say, "Oh, I'm hungry today. Let me call so and so because he's always good to take me to a good restaurant." Like, literally, literally.
I know people like that too. Yeah, I mean, but then if you can, whoa, okay, let's reverse this because if the guy is still taking her out, knowing goddamn well that he only gets to hit up when she want to eat, then he needs to take accountability,
That's what I'm
right?
saying. I'm not blaming her per se. That's why I said men got to get their stuff together. Because when you go to put your money first, whatever you think she wants to see first, I feel like if I give whoever I'm trying to impress, if I give her my personality, there's just certain things you got to look for. I'm not saying I'm a genius. I just know that the way I've been thinking has kind of repelled a lot of the BS off of me, because the minute I say certain things, I can tell by her face, her actions, and how she's responding. Yeah, we're not gonna last.
Well, then you're not the one. But that's good that you're like, you're putting yourself out there personality wise. Like, and then, like you said, you have the money. So, like, she's missing out,
I mean,
right? Like,
whether she is or she
but I
isn't,
mean,
because I could be one of five guys that she's trying to entertain at the same time. So why would I need to be the one guy to put all my money out there or whatever I think I'm worth for her to benefit from? If you don't think you're gonna benefit from me, then it's okay to find somebody else. I'm okay with, you know, taking the L on this one if that's how you see it. Whoever that individual is.
though. That's what dating is about. You got to get to know the person, and there's a lot of women out there that be like, money is top priority for them. That's like, well, like why else would you be going into a relationship? Like eventually to settle down with somebody,
Yeah.
and if they're bum, Where you going with that?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there is some type of validity to why women do some of the stuff that they do. I don't see that there's anything wrong with it. But I feel like even if that's your goal, right? I'm looking for a partner, a life partner to spend life with or to be long term with. Don't go around just treating people in your kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you make 30,000 a year, get out of my face. Like, that's kind of wrong. But just respectfully, decline them.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's some
Exactly.
women that's just barbaric. Like, oh, you can't get me unless you afford me. And then that kind of attitude just makes me like feel nasty inside. Like, you know what? I don't want to afford you, because if affording you comes with all of that kind of talk, go that way. Because a lot of
You're
people
gonna
don't
have
realize, huh?
you're gonna have your hands full.
Yeah, because you know what? It's cool to look at these rappers that get all the girls, but a lot of these rappers, I don't know. I can't say by name, but you can kind of tell in a sense. It's like, if he wasn't getting all those girls before he got rich, or before he got famous, rather, then he's getting got. Like, you know that they're only around you because you're gonna drop a bag on them or pay their rent or pay their bills. Like, girls are getting real good at what they do. They will make you think they love you, and you will
Well,
be like, huh?
thing. Guys do the same thing, and and they just do it just to get in your damn hands. Like,
I'm
I,
not taking accountability away from the men.
girls do it.
What
Girls
I'm
do it to
saying is,
get
there's a
caught,
lot more
right?
cornier rappers. It's easy to look. It's easy to look like the man because you got a bunch of girls around you. But if all these girls is around you and they don't really find you attractive, or they find you a cornball because in real life you don't got nothing but the money and the aesthetic of a good high value man, then they gonna take you for what you got.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I
I,
mean?
yeah.
I don't know. That's why I be telling men, get your stuff together, my man. Because guess what? I'm gonna be real. I believe that I have gotten a good substantial amount of women in my life, enough to say that I'm not the ugliest person in the world, or I'm not the bummiest person in the world. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I've
Now that
proven,
you,
huh?
I've had enough women. I'm good now. I've had my
No, I'm
share
not
of
saying
women.
I'm good. What I'm saying, that if I got rich and famous, because I'm real with myself and what I've experienced, I know my options will become open because now I'm rich and famous, and I know which ones will be there for a certain purpose. Like, you wouldn't have looked my way, you know what I'm saying, at all.
Yep.
So if I feel
Mm,
like I'm being finessed, I'm gonna finesse back. I'm gonna get what
okay.
I want out the situation, and she can take the
You
yellow,
think I'm mess? You know that? You a
huh?
mess. I said you a mess.
You can take the yellow cab with this 20
You
bucks,
stay away.
yeah. Not even an Uber, a yellow cab. Now let me stop, because I know what you here for. I'm gonna give it to you, and then you're gonna be shocked. Any girl you see, if I become a celebrity, any girl you see complaining about me on the internet, just know it's because she got finessed. Because she was trying to play slick and she thought I was stupid. I'm real with
So
myself.
now they going on the internet to like throw you under the bus.
Yeah.
Slow down with your number count.
Yeah, they were, oh, he's not good in bed. Oh, he got the little his penis. And then when I go and post up the text message, like, was that what she's saying then? No, I don't think so.
Oh my
You know, whatever. But anyway, I just feel like men nowadays got to step their game up at least to a certain level before they could demand anything from a woman. And you got to, like, come on, bro. A lot of these guys, they be sleeping with their man's exes or the man's side chicks and this and that. Like, that's all messy. I get that men want vagina or whatever the case may be, but there's a certain way about doing it without being in a messy situation.
Yeah. So what do you suggest, like, somebody who doesn't want to get married but just wants that? Where are they supposed to go?
Where are they supposed to go?
Like,
I
what
don't
they
know.
supposed?
Because of my Christian belief, I don't atone to that lifestyle.
Oh, I
But
back.
they know where they could go. You go to the clubs, you go to the clubs, bars, and whatever else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go where you find women at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And nowadays, it just seems like more women are real bold nowadays. Of like, I don't want no kids. I don't want to be married. I just want, like, nowadays I think nowadays you can find exactly what you're looking for because more women are more bold and more masculine in certain areas that they shouldn't be. But it's just out there,
Like now, you could definitely find a
I mean,
person.
if men were playing their part, they wouldn't have to be masculine. They wouldn't have to be, you know, doing what they do. But because, you know, they come across bitch ass, you know, this is what they got to do.
I mean,
I
all
like,
right. So then, what do you say about this then? Right, for every female that complains about a man, right? For
right.
every female that complains about whether you black, Spanish, whatever, oh, he's a no good, blah 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 blah, right?
Uh-huh.
But the percentage of single parent households are at an all-time high. So the same men you're complaining about is the little boy you're raising at home. Not you per se, but you know what I'm trying to say. These men are
It's,
coming from single parent households because the father wasn't around or the mother this, whatever the case may be. So then stop encouraging your little son to have a million girlfriends. And if he don't got nothing to offer to these girls, stop letting him lie to them while sleeping in your house, not having no place to bring them back to, not having no food to feed them. You know, like you're these some of these women encourage their sons to manipulate and lie. And then when he grows up, it's the very men they say they hate.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't have a son, so I can't even
But
relate
you
to that. But
understand what I'm saying.
I do. I see what you're
It's just a
saying. Yeah.
cycle after a cycle after a cycle after a cycle. And if you want me to give any wholesome advice that I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with, I'll just say, young people, stop having sex unless you're ready to be married or you're prepared to take care of a baby. And I know they say, oh, but there's condoms and there's... So if there's all these contraceptives that everybody know about, then why aren't y'all using them?
You know why. I mean, everybody knows why. Like,
Well, then, just like I take accountability for my situation and why it is the way it is, and I handle my business, at least I believe to, I think I do pretty okay. You know what I'm saying? Then they got to be prepared to handle whatever comes from it. You know what I'm saying?
that's, oh, you're right. You're right. I mean, it would be nice if we could all follow like the standard of like waiting to be married, whatever. But like that you know, that law took place a long time ago, and people were doing it and ending up in shitty ass marriages. Like,
All right, so then
so
let's put it to you this way. They say that the highest percentage, and you could look this up, like in what do you call it? How do you call it? What do you call it? And what do you call it? I don't know. I'm forgetting the simplest things. Marriages that are set up like in other cultures. What do you call that?
arranged marriages.
Arranged. There you go. I'm sorry, it was right at the tip of my tongue. They say that there's a higher success rate in that than us just picking whoever we want. There's a more
Well,
higher
which country
success.
are you referring to? Because in like the Islamic country, whatever, you know, they have their arranged marriages, but it's also frowned upon for those women to leave their husbands, so they stay in unhappy relationships for that reason because it brings shame to the family and whatnot. So, in which
Because there's
country?
a certain structure. You got to think a lot, not all, because I can't speak for everybody, right? I only know a couple handful of people in arranged marriages. I'm not that close to them, so I'll just speak to what I keep to know. What I know is that it's the same thing I told you in the beginning. Beforehand, you didn't hand yourself over to a man unless the parents or yourself made sure that it was somebody that can take care of you. See what I'm
Right, right.
saying? So, you know, if you ask me, if he's giving you everything you need, now if he's treating you like a slave and got you in a dungeon and just pulls you out on a
But
Monday, consider your Monday.
if she doesn't agree, like for the marriage, because she's not in love with him, but he can provide for her, that it's okay.
Well, I mean, is she forced by her parents? Is she just doing it because this is what her parents want? Like, I can't
It
speak
sounds
for that.
like you're for those arranged marriages.
No,
Are
I
you?
kind of am. I'm being honest. I'm gonna tell you why. Because due to personal experience of the ones that I know, the men had to make sure they proved themselves to the woman, and the woman was always younger, and they're still together to this day. Now, do I know the dynamics? If somebody cheats, I don't know, but nobody's divorcing is all I'm saying. Because
And this is here in America.
well, they stem from the other countries, but yeah, they live here.
Oh, I see.
So,
Oh, okay.
but if you
I
look it
mean,
up, the percentages are there that arranged marriages percentage is higher than a regular modern day marriage.
okay.
I'm just saying.
I
I only
obviously
like
my
it. I'm gonna be
but
honest. I like it because, well, one, as a man, I still have to prove myself to be able to provide and take care. So it's not like I'm talking this crap and I don't have no responsibility. But I like it too because the men always gets younger girls because they it's a reason for that. They have to have a girl younger, and I'm not talking 15, 14, although I hear in some countries they do that type of crap. That's crazy. But I'm talking about like if the man is 35, 40 and the girl's 21, 22, 20, you know what I'm saying? Because they want to carry on a lineage, and younger girls are more prone to being able to be more healthier to, you know, procreate.
What?
It's
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's more known for a younger girl to be able to procreate than an older woman.
I mean, I guess, but it depends. I don't know. I feel like that it depends.
It
You know what I
always
mean?
depends, but
Nowadays,
generally
a lot of young
speaking, in
people
most
are
cases, is what I'm saying. In
a
most,
lot of young women nowadays are getting into nonsense like drinking like at a young age, and they develop that like as a habit. Like every time they go out, they're drinking, drinking, drinking. When somebody drinks, and there's nothing wrong with drinking because I have a bar in my house. Like you already know. Like, I'm not saying there's something wrong with drinking. I'm just saying like if you as a young person, right, get into drinking, let's say 21 all the way to 25, like you're drinking frequently with your friends, and now how do you think your body is affected by drinking alcohol on a weekly basis, and you're young, and I mean you age quicker, one, and you're just not as healthy as you should be, as opposed to someone who might be older and is not like into alcohol or like partying and really taking care of themselves and getting rest and whatnot. Like they can bring a healthier child into the world. I mean, the young person who drinks all the time, she might be able to bring a child into the
but
world,
I'm
but
talking about
like
in most cases in these arranged marriages, they're based off religious beliefs. So I'm not saying these people don't drink at all. I'm not saying that, but they're probably not really drinking like that in some of these really like the girls. She's that young.
exactly.
9 times out of 10. I'm not speaking 100% of the
Goes
time.
back to that country, those Middle Eastern countries where they take the young girls, like that's what you're saying, like that, not like
But I'm
15,
speaking
but
of age. I'm not talking about wherever they do 15, 14 year olds. I'm talking about like the 21 and up, 20, 23, 24, you know, where the man is like way older, but they still get these young wives.
I guess. I mean, unless he's not looking for kids, and I can understand why he's looking for somebody older, right?
Men don't look for older women in a general sense. In a general sense, as a high
All
value man
like,
or just a man with status or a man that is comfortable with himself tend to go after younger girls.
so you're speaking for all men, is what you're saying?
I'm speaking in general. I'm not speaking for
Or
all men, right? Because everybody can say,
like
"Oh, but I
general?
got a different type." How about this? I used to, you know what I'm saying? I used to date older women. That was my thing. But then there were certain experiences that I had that let me know I had to step my game up because they're in certain statuses that I feel like I'm not necessarily being respected. So
I
I
see.
feel like mentally I'm in a space where I can have what I want mentally. But there's still levels I gotta reach to be able to literally have what I want, as far as like the exact kind of woman I want. Nobody's perfect, but there are some women out there that it's possible.
I mean, I feel like there are relationships out there where somebody wants to tap into the conversation. If you are able to allow them to do that, I'm not sure how to like tell them to tap in, but
Oh,
into the conversation, that is.
um,
How do they do that? I don't know how to like explain what buttons to press on here.
I mean, whoever that is there somebody that follows me or somebody that follows you?
That follows me.
All right, so tell them not for this episode, not because I don't want to have a great debate. I love to debate. It's just I haven't
For
set
time.
up what I do for YouTube. I haven't set it up to where I'm gonna have a debate yet. But tell them if they can follow my Instagram and or YouTube, we could get back on this again to prepare for like opinionated stuff. It's just like
Yeah.
right now I'm just trying to get some content out there, and if they disagree with me, it's fine. Like I'm not upset to
No, I
opposition.
explain. There's gonna be people that disagree with what we both say or agree, and personally, I disagree with that statement because I feel like there are couples out there where the women are older, and I think that they have like successful marriages,
Oh, I
and their
didn't know.
relationship.
See, that's what I'm saying. I've come from the women. I'm not saying they can't be successful, because
Like
it's really about where the woman and the man stands. That's all I'm basing on. I didn't say they can't be successful. I just said think about it. If an older woman respected me for being me, then there's nothing wrong with that, right? If I'm happy with her, she's happy with me, then I can't speak for those situations. But in most cases, if the woman has more, and I'm talking like significantly more, not that she makes 5 more thousand a year or 10 more thousand a year. I'm saying like if she's worth 250,000 a year, you worth 50,000 a year. You really think she's not gonna look at you a little crazy? Oh, but I got the best D in the world. Okay, there's still gonna be a lack of respect somewhere. Because
Yeah.
if how about this? If you could come home and kick up, take a shower, and watch your favorite movie, and she still got to work more hours to keep up that 250,000, she's gonna look at you crazy. She got
Yeah.
to work
Yeah.
hard. That's
That's
just
true.
giving
Because
respect to the
men
woman.
can't men can't do some things like do chores and stuff like that in the house. So most likely he is just doing what you said, kicking his feet up and not even contributing. With he's happy with his 50,000, and that's fine. But that's it comes to like both parties. Like she's willing to put up with that, and he's not trying to be any better or on the same page. Then like
But you see
that's
how it's crazy that sounds. If she's making 250 and he's making 50, you really think she's happy with him?
So is that what is that what happened with you? She was like,
Nah. No, no. Well, I'll be honest. With me, it wasn't that the income gap was big. It was just I was younger. I had a certain youthfulness to me. You could say immaturity or naiveness that when I started looking at myself, like it's not that I can't handle this person, but for whatever reason they think it's okay to make me feel this way, right? They didn't disrespect me in public per se, but it was just certain things that would come out. How about this? In the 9 times out of 10 that I dated an older woman with a little bit of status with her own business, right? We go somewhere. I'm treating her with respect. That's what I do. Looking at her, complimenting her, engaging in conversation. And then a young girl comes to service us our food. There's been instances where her attitude shifts. Nine
and why
times
is
out of 10, I don't care what man pops up in this chat and tries to disagree because I love my wife. She's 20 years more older than me. Fine. God bless you. But giving any man a chance, a man is always going to want to choose a younger woman. That's the facts. And they're out there.
oh no. I
So
this
would you,
you
all
know
right, so I you don't have to disclose your age. I won't do that to you because I know how women are about that. And I know you're not old at all. But what I'm saying is, do you see yourself right now dating a 19-year-old?
hell no. Hell no.
Why not?
That's different. Like
Why?
uh, like Apple, he's not even old enough to drink with me. Like what?
All right, so
No,
what
no,
if he's
not that
21?
I'm all about drinking, but like realistically, like that's a whole different. Like I have a whole lot of experiences, and my life is set up where I have little ones, and I'm on a different like energy field. Like that's this is like he's part of the newer generation where they think differently, and that's just no. I feel like certain age groups should be with certain age groups because like that's just it works. I mean, if you want to go out of your age group and to go ahead and date somebody young, that's your preference. But personally, no, absolutely not.
But
My
women tend
battery,
having a hard time dating below them. So if you're used to a certain lifestyle, right? If you
well, I
ever,
mean, my
huh?
my current my current boyfriend, he's a year younger than me, and we're doing all right. You know what I mean?
But that's not much of a difference. But how about this? I'll say this. It's not much of a difference on top of that, but there's a reason why you're still with him, dealing with whatever you deal with. I would just like to assume, because we do know each other, but I'm not trying to put anything personal out there, like good or bad, because it's not my place, is to say that you respect him to a certain degree, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Even though he's younger than me like that, like he is the head of the household and that's that. Like there's no like this is my decision. I choose to live like that where he is, he makes the decisions and that's that. Like, he and for the most part, like I can say that confidently that I follow, but follow through because there he makes good decisions. He's doing his part. He's
That's what
doing
I'm
like
that's
that
what
he
I'm
needs to do.
speaking.
So why wouldn't I go ahead and be submissive and follow? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no question about it or whatever. Anyways, listen, my battery's gonna die, so
Oh, all right.
I'm
So
sorry.
let me just
I
rush
have
this thing. I
to
gotta
charge
rush
it.
this.
It's not charging.
This is a great conversation, so I gotta rush it because I don't want your battery to die. Yo, Carter boy, I see you, my brother. I love you, man. And tell your friends to follow me on Instagram, and then we can all jump back on and have a debate.
What's
Like I
the
don't want him to
Instagram?
feel like
Is it Is it this one? This was your.
Yeah. Tell them to follow my Instagram and or YouTube. I'm not dissing them. It's not that I'm afraid of any debate. I love debate, so bring it on. But respectfully, you feel what I'm saying? It's just that's not what I wanted tonight. I want to handle until I'm able to have panels of people where we could healthily go back and forth. But I got 2 questions: red light, green light, for the audience on YouTube and Instagram. If you agree with her, give a green heart. If you disagree, give a red heart. And the reason why it's hearts is because regardless if you agree or disagree, we still spreading love. You feel me? So I'm gonna ask you 2 challenging questions. Okay. If you're on a boat and the boat can only fit 2 people, and you got your child drowning or your husband drowning, who do you choose?
Oh, I know this is not an option, but I would jump off and let them both stay on.
That's not an
But
option, so you have to choose.
um, what kind of like? Why would we?
It's
There are
just
only
a
50
scenario.
people.
It's a haphazard scenario that you have to answer.
Shit. Well, okay. So personally, if I chose my boyfriend, he would kill me because he'd be like, "How dare you not choose her?"
You're back.
Yay! I
All right,
charged
so
it a
we'll
little.
make this quick because I think what happened was we went past the time that Instagram allows. So we'll make this as quick as possible. So back to the boat question: red light, green light. You already know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
cheating. You had time to think about it. Thanks to Instagram. Well, go ahead.
yeah, I would choose my child. Yeah, because like as parents, we have lived our long lives. You know what I mean? Like we we could die. You know what I mean? Like I think he'd be alright. In the next life, whatever, he'd be alright. Like I would choose my child. Yeah.
So what if your husband or your boyfriend, whatever, says, well, no disrespect to the child, but we could always create more children? Just asking.
I don't think he's drowning, but that's really up to me to decide. Because I could be like, you know what? Well, I'm gonna let my child die because I could always make another one. But I'm looking at it from a different point of view, and personally, I feel like me or her father, they, we have lived long lives. So it's really for the kids to continue on the legend.
True. Okay. So last question, and then we could get out of here because I know it's getting late. And as you said, you have a beautiful family to take care of. So I apologize for taking up too much of your time.
No, you're
And
good.
before we get out, let me ask a question. Then I want you to do that promo for the card thing again. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Get some clout, some attention out here in these streets. But and I thank you for participating. I know I'm annoying, but I thank you anyway.
No, you're fine. I love this.
All right, so I got one more question. In an alternate universe where you're not involved with somebody, this is just for you to answer the question. It's on an alternate universe. Would you rather would you rather marry a billionaire but he got AIDS, or a regular dude but he got herpes?
What the?
In any given circumstances, not what nobody wants. It's just the question.
I'm gonna take the billionaire. I know, like that don't. Oh, dang, my light turned off. You can see me. All right. Well, you don't really need to see me for me to answer that, but yeah, I mean that don't make me a gold digger. That just means that
Well, it's
you know,
just probably if you're gonna die, I'd rather die like living how I want to live and spending all a bunch of money. Is that what you're saying?
right? I mean, not trying to diss anybody that does have any of these
Oh yeah,
unfortunate.
this is a disclaimer. It's just a question for
I,
entertainment purposes only.
I
Just
don't
not to
know too
offend
much.
anyone.
I don't know too much about the other stuff, and then you say he's average, so you know what I mean,
But what if
average.
he's going to love you? The billionaire might have 10 wives and a harem of women.
You didn't say all of that, right?
I
You
said
didn't say.
maybe. It's a possibility. You're right. I did just keep it basic.
I mean, I don't know. I guess if I'm not the only one, and he's a billionaire, and he got 10 other wives, and he don't need an 11th one. You know what I mean? And he got AIDS. They're all gonna be fighting for that when he dies. Nah. In that case. I would probably choose the other guy. You know what I mean? Because we could always work around.
I just helped sway your answer. No.
Because you added the fact that he had like 10 wives. I mean,
I
like,
said
why?
if. It's a possibility. I didn't say. We don't know these hypothetical people.
If he didn't have nobody else, then I would choose him.
How would you know? He's rich. He's probably good at hiding it.
All right, you take this on to a whole nother level. You just want to me like you want me to choose the other guy. Like,
No, I'm just picking your brain and making it difficult. That's all.
I would choose the billionaire. I'm sorry. Like, you know,
Wow.
like if he's hiding and it's suspicious. Like I'm thinking like he got somebody, maybe a few other. Nah. I'm sorry. You could keep your
It
money.
ain't hard to tell. He already got AIDS. You know what I'm saying?
So he gonna live recklessly.
I don't know, but he already got it, so he got it somehow. If he wasn't born with it, then I don't know. But anyway, these are hypothetical questions. This is no knock to anyone in any given circumstance. Things happen. People are born a certain way. People get things from just decision making. These are just challenging questions from Mr. GSG himself for entertainment and conversation and trying to stretch the human brain and share opinions. Anybody who wants to be a part of this show, it is going up on YouTube, and I have your permission, right, to put it up on YouTube. So anybody that wants to be a part of it, you can promote your business, you can promote your pages, you can promote. You rather not promote your OnlyFans, but if you do, it's none of my business. How about that? I just would rather you not. But if you have one, by all means, especially if you're entertaining, can have a constructive conversation without, being volatile. You can promote whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? It's not what I'm about, but if that's how you make your money, it's your business. So if you want to get up on here, follow my YouTube and or Instagram, and we can have a conversation. Maybe next time we can have like 4 people on here. I just want to have it organized for your friend I wanted to join. It's not that I don't want him or her to not join. So I wasn't prepared for that. And when I have like a quote unquote panelist where it's more than one person, then I would rather have more of a structured debate in that manner.
I look forward to that.
I'm definitely looking forward to it because I love debates. As long as they don't turn into volatile arguments, I love debates. But thank you for joining, and I wanted you to plug in your page or whatever. I know you was promoting the car sales place.
The Stream Auto Outlet. I think that's it on Instagram. Stream Auto Outlet, and it's located in Long Island. And if you need, if you find anything, I don't know, hit me up in DM. I'll direct you directly to the assistant manager who belongs to me. And
Yeah, she's the plug because she done had almost every car. I've seen her with a lot of cars. So if there's not anybody that can't get you a car, she or he can.
I'll post it again. I'll post my new 2020 Wrangler. For those of y'all that didn't know.
And you had a Lexus before that.
Exactly.
And you had another car before that. So we don't got to go down the long list. But no, I'm saying you had like a lot of cars. It's there. The plug is with you. Or you are with the plug. Or y'all both the plug. I don't know who to give credit to, but the plug is there.
Stream Auto Outlet, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you for being a great sport. And 1, 2, 3,
No problem.
Stevie D GSG. Follow GSG Reviews. Oh, I'm launching a big sale on gsgjewelry.net real soon. A big sale. I'm trying to sell out of everything because I'm revamping the site for more merch and still jewelry. But yeah, support your boy. Follow your boy. You know what I mean? My Instagram, you already see what it is. Follow my YouTube and follow the business. 1, 2, 3. We out.
Bye.
Bye.